Hey guys, RC here. Welcome back to episode 5 of our Let's Play using Draft Day Sports College Football. Hopefully you've checked out some of my baseball Let's Plays with Out of the Park version 18. That is a relatively new release. This is also a new release. Yeah, won't be paying that much money to go to basketball playoffs. um, so, last time we had just run the week. We were having some issues after our third game in week 5 or in week 4 with our freshman quarterback not playing. A shootout with Kansas State. Wow. All right. A 53-yard pass, 7-yard pass, field goal, a 2-yard run, field goal, run, a pick six, field goal, a 56-yard pass, and a 48-yard pass. So the game has again gone to looks like a completely different game plan from what I've got put in. So I'm not sure why. Let's see. All right, Mueller actually played, but only 4 pass attempts and 3 running attempts. Honestly, Fullerton is 3.5 yards a carry, so he might actually be, let's see, player stats, rushing 4.2 and a touchdown. $1.6. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make Fullerton my starter, but I still want to point out that Mueller should be my starter for probably 80% of the game based on the game plan I've got in place. And he's not. And also, well, unless we had, we only had 17 first downs, but we only had 7 third down plays and no fourth down plays. 19 and 38 rushes. So it was run heavy, but it certainly seems like we passed the ball a lot more. And again, our fullbacks down here with 1 carry. Our 4 running backs are up here. Okay, so again, I don't want to call anything after 4 games, but I think we've got at least enough of a picture. 1 out of 4 games, the game plan actually worked, and we saw statistics that would at least be indicative of what we would expect in a playthrough using a wishbone. Excuse me. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pass some of this information up to the guys at Wolverine and see what kind of feedback they can give me at this point. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish. So we're actually 4-0, so I'm not complaining about results. But again, this game was with my playbook that was specifically designed to be very run centric. And we had 42 rushes, 44 rushes, 34 passes, and that's nowhere near what it should have been because that was using my custom playbook, which was pretty much geared to be about 80 to 90% runs. The game against Hawaii was the default playbook for option only, and we see 62 rushes, 17 passes, and that is kind of what I expect out of a option wishbone attack. 22 passes, 78 rushes. So again, we saw here the issue in this one was the depth chart did not carry over, and our freshman quarterback that we confirmed was in the spot to start, and got credit for starting the game or playing in the game because he shows that he's had three starts. Didn't play. I mean, he had nothing, no pass attempts, no rush attempts. They must have put him in, like the lineup card for baseball. They put him in at the beginning of the game on the lineup card, and all right, take the field. Hey, you're out of the game, but you get credit for starting. I don't know. And then this one completely went off the rails. He played, but only a couple of plays, and we really were much heavier. Well, 2-1 rushing. Uh, I guess maybe what we can chalk this one up to is they had a lot of ball control. Um, I mean, they averaged 5 yards a carry, 23 first downs. So, maybe they just outplayed us in this game and we got lucky to win. That's, I mean, that's the only thing I could think. But still, we ended up passing, a lot of passing touchdowns, which I guess could happen even in a wishbone attack. But but we were at 5 yards a carry. We just didn't, run the ball. It just didn't feel right. Anyway, let's jump into the emails. We got an angry player. We've got an angry player. We've got an angry player. And we signed nobody, but we lost a bunch of guys. So Navarro, the fullback, goes to Oklahoma State. He was the one that we got on late because of that week 1 fiasco. Same thing with Taylor, I think. And Holland went to Oklahoma State. That's a little surprising, but hey, it's not the end of the world. Let's see. All right. Now, the one thing I have not done, let me try this. And then I want to come to the wishbone. Well, actually, you know what? No, I don't even want to do this because I decided I was going to make, well, I'm going to do it anyway, yeah. I do want to make Fullerton my starting quarterback now, but I'm just, because I haven't had any injuries, I haven't actually changed this. And what I'm seeing is that's not carrying over. So now we've actually changed this. Okay, so let's take a look at that. We're still option and spread here. I'm going to go to a primary back. Let me up it back to fast tempo. I don't know why that changed. All right. Just seeing if anything jumps out. 92. 43. Still nobody's on him. Boy, boy, boy. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and up him to 10. All right, we've got scouting on everybody as far as I know to at least have an idea of what's happening. All right, I'm going to put, you know what, I can up him to 10. And I'm going to put 10 points here. All right. And I don't think we have anybody on the not recruiting list, but that's where we want to go now to see new people. Now, like you see a lot of these players with multiple people, but then you see this guy with just Ohio State. It doesn't mean that Ohio State's the only one after him. The AI is basically trained that if they feel they're going to lose a player, they back off and go somewhere else. And being that we're playing a solo game, every other team is the AI. So, um, you know, that's how I'm interpreting that. Walton Henderson. All right, schedule offer 10 points and 10 points. Like I said, I find linebackers to be the hardest position to recruit because it's the one position that you need the most players at, with 6 per team. You know, so there's a lot of competition for them. The Cubs, the Bears. Thank you for your subscription. Much appreciated. Now, of course, you're subscribing to this. If you're watching this particular series, I just put up episode 1 today, and this is episode 5 that I am recording. It'll be my last recording of this today, but it will be, you know, that way I've got basically close to a week's worth in the can. All right, James Fry, number 68, right there. Schedule, scouting, offer. Probably not very interested in us, but might be enough. Yeah, we've got enough time to keep going a little bit. I tell you what, I'm gonna just ignore the silence while this is simming. I have to run real quick to the kitchen, but I will be back here in just a second, and that way I'll do that while it is simming ahead. So I won't be gone but a second while this is simming. Pardon the silence, but I will be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. I apologize for that. Let me make a note of the recording time so I can annotate that. It'll be the 14:30 mark. So, all right. Actually, I had to go wake up my daughter from her nap so she could go to work. That's what I was doing. So we beat the Jayhawks. Let's see how the scoring went. 8-yard run, field goal, pass, field goal, pass, run, and a pass from our backup quarterback. So there's Muller. Again, we set him to be the starter, and it's like the game is ignoring what we're telling it to do. So I do think we have, I think this is an issue. It's defaulting to the primary to the primary depth chart rather than the specific depth chart for that game plan. So the way that they have it set up, that you should be able to be very specific for specialty situations, it's not allowing it to do that. So yeah, I'm going to make a note of this. I think they need to be aware of that so they can look at it. Now, hopefully something comes of that at some point. Or, just scrap that detailed breakdown and just go with a generic depth chart and be done with it. Now, we only got 15 first downs, 11 third downs, 18 of 23, 38. So, again, we didn't run anywhere to the extent that I thought we should, even with the lead. And we were still throwing the ball 50 yards downfield with a lead where we're supposed to be run heavy in the final 2 minutes, if nothing else. And for the first time, none of our backs gained 100 yards by themselves. And also, even though we switched it over to a feature back, it still appears it's running backfield by committee. But you notice what did not happen. The fullback did not carry the ball even once this game. So again, that's an issue, I think, in how the game is breaking down from the option attack. All right, so I want to come back into my game plan. So again, we've got option, very run heavy, spread, which could be pass, but I still have it dialed in predominantly run. Third and fourth and long, and 2 minutes behind are really the only ones that we should be passing even remotely heavy. Now, again, because I don't know what's in these playbooks, and those playbooks are not in here for us to analyze. I don't know what plays are in there. And I don't know what weights are in there either. So I have to rely that this run-pass ratio is accurate in what it's going to do. And honestly, it doesn't appear to be. So I'm a little troubled. And again, this is something new for me. I'm just starting to delve into this part of the game. And honestly, it's throwing me for a loss. I don't understand what it's doing and why it's doing it. And there's a big difference between understanding what you're putting in here and what the game does, and then knowing the math and the coding behind it. That's not what I need to know. But if I put in, I want you to run the ball 88% of the time, and we're only running the ball 60% of the time or 40% of the time, that's an issue. If I put into game plan that when I run an option, which I'm running here a majority of the time, that I want quarterback C to be the starter, and quarterback C is never on the field, that's the game is not listening to what I'm telling it to do or asking it to do. And if it's not, then that's broken to me. Now again, I like the game. I like it a lot. It's growing on me the more I play it. Um, Still don't understand it. It does some things that I don't get. And this is an example, now that I'm looking into a new thing, um, and that could be why I don't get it because it's new, but I'm trying to show here what I'm looking at, what I'm attempting to do. And then, like, we did change it to a primary back, yet the last game we showed that it appeared that they were still running a backfield by committee because we had three backs all with 9 to 12 within 3 carries of each other rather than one or two backs carrying the bulk of the load. And I do have it set up to be mostly starters, so I would expect my starter to be out there more than the backup. So yeah, I'm just confused. I mean, we're playing well, certainly. Um, Tell you what, while we've got a couple of minutes left in this video, let's go ahead. We're 5 games in, so not quite halfway, but we'll take a look at our passing stats. So Mueller has gotten credit for playing 5 games, but he has not started 5 games. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The first time you touch the ball, you should have the ball 1st and 10, correct? And if on 1st and 10 we're running the option, and in the depth chart for option, Wishbone, Mueller is supposed to be the starter, then why would he not start the game? So I think that's another indicator that the game is not doing what we're asking it to do. I think that's a perfect indicator right there. The game's not doing what we ask it to do. Now in this case, it's not mattering because I've decided at this point. Now I haven't done it yet because I just showed you my depth chart. Mueller's still listed. I'm going to make Fullerton my only starting quarterback because Mueller is averaging 1.6 yards a carry. Fullerton's averaging 3.1. So he's going to be the better running quarterback for right now. But that doesn't excuse the fact that the game is not doing what I'm asking it to do. And I don't think I'm screwing anything up in the way I'm setting it up. Anyway, so let's see, 87 carries, 78 carries. Now again, our fullback, 8 carries through 5 games. That's 1 carry a game. That's indicative of a modern day pro style offense. That's not indicative of a true option wishbone attack where the fullback was the primary running back for his team, taking the ball right up the gut on that dive play over and over and over again. Then they would fake that and then attack the edges off of that fake. So he was the focal point of the entire offense, was to draw the linebackers to pinch into the middle and then attack the edges on the triple option. But he was always the first option. But yet combined, my fullbacks have 11 carries. That's not an option attack, so the option is not working right. And I will stand by that statement. It's not working right. So we need to find out why. All I can do is put these videos up, let the guys at Wolverine know, and maybe they take a look at it, maybe they don't. They're very good about addressing things or at least answering, so I'll get an answer back. It may not be what I want to hear, and it may be, hey, that's something we didn't really test real hard. We need to take a look at that, whatever the case may be. But we will address that. And again, this is going to be episode 5, so this should get me about a week of postings, probably into next week. Today's Friday. I'm on holiday today. So this will get me through the weekend for sure, and into probably towards the middle of next week. So I should definitely have an answer back from somebody before then. Anyway, thanks for checking out the video. We're going to keep going with it. I mean, I'm going to keep trying. And but now that I'm going to have a few days, maybe I can also get some feedback on some things to try, and I can try that in the next video as well. So thanks for watching this one. We'll see you next time. Take care.